Welcome, everybody. It is a lovely Wednesday morning. It is coffee time with Coach Jah. I am your host, Coach Jah, in the building. Those of you who joined us yesterday, thank you for coming through yesterday. Those of you who purchased a mug, I have some orders going out today. If you purchase a mug, I have some orders going out today. Here's the mug that's going out. See that? I designed that myself. I was very excited about that. I designed that whole thing myself. It says coffee time with Coach Jah, and it's a coffee mug. It's really dope. This morning, I'm drinking from another mug. It says, I can't read it right now. It's too short. But it's a Valentine's Day mug from my baby girl. It's Happy Valentine's Day, Danny. But the fine print is so small, and my eyes are not adjusted just yet. And I'm not going to strain in this moment. It's like, I'm realizing I am really getting old. I'm getting old. I have some things, but we're not going to focus on my oldness. Sparkle, good morning to you. Today we want to talk about self-love part 2, like we talked about yesterday. Self-love and remembering your greatness within your self-love. What are those things that we forget to remind ourselves about? The great things that we do, the great things that we say, the great things that we've become, all of the challenges that have been, good morning, Andrea Walton, all of the challenges that have been a part of our lives. Let us talk about those things, right? And let's remind ourselves, how do we remind ourselves every day that we are great in our own special way? And so a lot of times the biggest problem is we don't believe that. A lot of times we fall short of believing that. But here's the thing, if you never tell your Prada in the building, if you never tell yourself how amazing you are, right? And nobody else ever tells you that, you miss it. And a lot of times the people who are closest around us, they're so used to you just being amazing that they forget to tell you, hey, you really are amazing. And so that's one of the things that we have to do for ourselves. We have to remind ourselves that we are amazing. Think about this. It doesn't matter what you do. If you just take a pen and you write the word amazing on the page, even if someone else wrote it, right? They cannot write it exactly. Even if they forge it the way you write, it still won't be you. They cannot be you, right? There's still some originality in you. There's still something within you that says they cannot be you. And I think it's those small things that we need to remember more so, because we're always focusing on the big, great, gigantic things that happen as if nothing else happens in our lives. We miss so much because of that. We forget to talk about, I woke up today and my feet are not hurting. My back's hurting just a little less. My knees aren't as bad, and it's raining and it's cold, but I'm not so bad off today. Um, we don't talk about those things. We don't acknowledge the things that we take for granted, and we forgetting. Tomorrow, good morning, Jimmy. What's good, bro? So I want to talk about that. Let's talk about how do we acknowledge our greatness? How do we speak that to ourselves so that we constantly are reminded how great we are? Somebody type in the feed, I am great today. Say, I am great today. It doesn't matter if you feel it or not. I want you to start telling yourself that, because we tell ourselves, I'm not going to get this job. I'm not good enough. I've never had this. I've never been able to get this, never able to do that. So let's try it the opposite way. Let's start saying, I am great. Somebody type in the feed, I'm great today. And just see how that feels. Because see, what happens is when you start to tell yourself that, right? When you start to tell yourself, I'm great, there's something that happens magically within your body, within your spirit. It starts to make you know that, yes, you are great. Now, I'm not telling you to say that you're Superman and Superwoman, you have superpowers, but there's a greatness in you that you need to find today. On this day, I don't care what you're doing all day long. Start your morning with that. Start your morning with saying, hey, you know what? It doesn't matter what's going to happen today. I'm going to make it through. And here's the proof that that works. You might not have said it verbally yesterday, but you did. And you did it by not giving up. And so by not giving up, you already said that you have everything you need to make it through this day, even when you didn't think. Think about your worst day. Let's go back to the worst day of your life. You have no money. rent, mortgage due, light bill is due, the power light's coming off, the power's going off today, the water's not going to run. What's that? A drum behind me? Yes, Mike, that's the kunga behind me. That's one of my kungas. I have two of them, matching set. I understand. And your day just seemed like, man, this is like the worst day of my life. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to make it through this day. Just think about it for a minute. The worst day of your life. I don't care what had happened on that day. The worst day of your life. Think about it. Now, I don't want you sitting there all day, but I want you to think about that. Because guess what? That day is now in your past. The worst day that you've ever had in your life is in your past, which tells me that you made it. And then you made it and you didn't even celebrate it. You just went on like you didn't even celebrate. Celebrate it with something simple, but make it, let it be an acknowledgement, right? Something that acknowledges something that you've come through, something that you've gone over, some challenge that you were able to ride through, something that could have basically taken you out, right? I want you to celebrate that today. I don't know how you're going to celebrate. And celebration is a you thing. It's not for everybody. Of course, you can include other people in it. Of course, you can include other people in it. Nothing wrong with that. You can definitely include other people in that. But I want you to take that moment and celebrate it for you, right? Celebrate it for you. Even if it means just to have a hot cup of coffee, a hot cup of tea, your favorite soda, whatever way you mean to celebrate, however you decided to celebrate. I want you to do that today, and I want you to get into a habit of doing that. I'm training myself to do that. What's up, bro? Listen, we're talking about self-love today. We're talking about acknowledging the small victories and the major victories, because we always celebrate the major ones. Oh, I got the job, yes. But guess what? Before you got that job, you applied for it. Before you applied for it, you went and found it, or somebody told you about it, and then you made a decision to do that. That there are small victories. Doing this, thank you for sharing this perspective. So often, we just get through, but we forget to look back and how much we overcame. Exactly. And so, Kamara, I'm glad you said that. What I'm doing now, I'm designing the flyer now on Tuesdays. On Tuesdays. Not only are we going to have these conversations on Tuesdays, but I'm doing, it's not a writing workshop, but there will be writing. And so what we're doing on Tuesdays, we're going to write through our challenges. It's called Write to Heal. Write like you're writing, Write to Heal. And you don't have to be a poet. You don't have to be a published author. I want everyone to eventually get a journal. Eventually, I'm going to sell journals. Juicy, good morning. But the purpose of the book, right? The purpose of the class is so that we can learn other ways to take our challenges and take their power from them. Those demons, those generational curses that have been following us, we're going to write those things out of power. It's almost like going to your place of worship and saying, look, Lord, take it all. We're going to write those things out of power. Now, in this class, we're not going to share our stories with people. I'm asking us not to do that, at least not in the beginning part. But there's some exercises that we're going to do. And there's some things that you need to do with yourself without telling. Don't tell anyone your story. Whoever you've told your story up to this point, good. Now we're going to shut that down. We're going to dig inside, right? And we're going to find ways to write those things that are challenging us, those things that bother us. We're going to write those things to a minute state. Yeah. I decided this because of practices that I need for myself, but also practices that I know that we need in the community. I'm not going to charge you a whole bunch of money, which I should. I should charge you a lot of money, but I'm not. Um, but it's going to be such an amazing thing for you. Now, if you want to write poetry, fine. If you want to write stories, fine. If you want to write a novel or whatever you want to write from it, absolutely fine. The idea for me is to take certain things that I know and help use those things to help you take the power away from the demons that have been haunting you for so long. And it's exercise that I have to do for myself too. Manuel Cole says January 29th is my celebration date. 3 years this year. I'll never forget it. I just take a long walk and enjoy freedom. E-man, listen, brother, and this is what I'm talking about. Because we need to celebrate all of those victories, bro. Absolutely. We need to celebrate all of those victories. And one of the things that we do and we don't do enough of, what we don't do enough of, is we don't celebrate it. You should celebrate it always. You should celebrate it when things are rough, when times are bad, when you feel like you're at the end, right? You should celebrate whatever victory that had you just come over, or go think about one that you went years ago and celebrate it in that moment. Celebration. Think about it. When you party because you want to feel good, right? You get yourself in a new vibe. Partying is about celebrating a new thing, a new moment, a new situation, whether it's a birthday, whether someone just had a baby, whether someone got a new job. There's a celebration because of that. Well, we're going to celebrate because that hadn't happened yet. Good morning, baby girl. We're going to celebrate ourselves by talking about, and not to everyone, because what I don't want in this class, I don't want everybody sharing their whole story. Of course, we can share some of our writing, and the reason we're going to share it because we're not going to say exactly what's going on. And don't worry, I got you covered. You don't have to be the best writer. You just have to be willing to use your pen. I'm not going to make it real complicating. It's going to be just for the genuine ear to be able to say, hey, I'm going to write this moment about what's challenging me, but I know I can defeat it, right? That's why I told everybody, right now, type in, I am great, because you are, and you have everything you need to continue to be great. And so I'm going to, within this class, it's going to be on Tuesday nights only. It's probably going to be 8 o'clock. I just want everybody to settle down at home, right? But we're already, some of us are still at home. But you're going to write it down, whatever your challenge is. We're not going to call it an issue. We're not going to call it a problem. We're going to change the language. Part of getting past the things that we've gone through, right? Part of it is acknowledging that it doesn't have the power that we're giving it, you know? Part of it is telling ourselves that this is no longer, I am no longer a prisoner to this thing, whatever that is. Don't get me wrong. There are some things that are so grand that it takes more than just writing to help us get there. But one of the things that I've always been confident with believing is once you write it, then you can read it. Once you read it, you're listening to it. So you're hearing it, even if you're not saying it from your mouth. But eventually there's a voice inside that is willing to say it. And the moment you start to confess and say, hey, I'm no longer going to be a victim to this thing. I can beat this thing. I'm bigger than this thing, no matter what it is. The moment you start to say that, even if you're only saying it to yourself, you're already taking its power away. That's one of the things we want to do. I'm trying to read some of these messages. The world conspired against us, the Black people. And if the world could conspire against us, it wasn't because we were less, but because we were more. So we should always feel above and more. Listen, listen, that is exactly it. And I think part of the issue is, again, how we look at ourselves. We continue to look at ourselves through everyone else's eyes. And so part of what's going to happen in this class that I'm doing, part of it is going to be telling yourself how great you are, and your ancestors and your ancestors' ancestors, those before you, the trials that they have come through. It's going to be, listen, It's going to be so amazing. You all are going to really, really love and appreciate those who take the class. Um, it's going to show you that you beat yourself every day, and unbeknownst to you, you don't even realize it. You don't even realize that you have been your biggest issue and your biggest challenge. Why am I saying that? Because every day we allow the negative to override whatever positive is there. The negative just comes jumping out all the time, every day. We all do it. We all do it. And we don't allow the negative to get an uppercut and a stiff arm and knock it out the box. And so that's what we're going to learn. Eman says, I say to my wife that any struggle we have is nothing compared to my childhood and prison. We get through everything with that mindset. Absolutely. And here's the thing. Everything has an expiration date, right? Name a thing that lasts forever that you're going through, that you're challenged with. Does it last forever? There's always an expiration date to it. There's always an expiration date. Can't wait for that book to download from. Okay. But yeah, and I'm going to give you tools. I'm going to give you tools. You're so right. Pray for me, y'all. I'm searching for my call. Juicy, listen to me. Search inside yourself. Okay. You got to shut everything down. This is part of what this class is going to be. You have to shut everything down. And sometimes there's tears, sometimes there's pain, sometimes there's agony. Sometimes the thing that we have is right there and so close, but we've just been missing it because we've been focused on something else or what we think is our thing. I had no idea this is what I would be doing. I had no idea that I've been a coach for sports and a motivation for sports, but I had not known that I would be this. You know what I mean? I have not known that this is what I'll be doing. I remember reading the Prayer of Jabez, the book Prayer of Jabez. I read that book and I made a prayer and I asked that God allow me to touch somebody, at least one person every day, touch their heart one day, help change something in them every day. And I strongly believe I've been doing that and not knowing that I will end up here doing this at this point. You know what I mean? And there's some things that you learn about yourself the more you continuously do what makes you feel good that isn't injuring or bothering or troubling other folks. Miss Lady Bridget said, purpose is on the inside of you. Yes, not on the outside. Absolutely. Purpose is inside. And it may not be as easy for some to figure it out. It wasn't easy for me. It wasn't easy for me. I played basketball, I trained professional basketball players, professional football players. I planned to play pro ball. I actually got paid to play ball, but it wasn't like with a league or anything because I got hurt. But I thought that was my future. I thought my future was in exercising. I was a personal trainer. I thought my future was in that kind of athletic training. But my future was in writing. Once I got physically hurt and couldn't do the athletic part, the training part that I wanted to do, all I had was what I had. And we have to look into what we have. Some of us have some amazing gifts, and we have to figure out how do we make those gifts move forward. Brethren, what's good? And so, like I said, with the class, I want people to come in knowing that, number one, I'm not asking you to tell me your problems. I'm not asking you to tell me your challenges. I'm not asking you to share in front of people. I'm not asking you to get up and speak in front of people and say, hey, this is going on in my life. I want to tell you all about it. That is not part of what we're doing. I won't say that won't be times where we're allowed to give testimonies and things like that. Of course, that's going to happen. But part of this class, you are not asked to tell people your business. You're not asked to share. I'm asking you not to share. I'm asking you to keep everything that you're doing and working on, keep it to yourself. Reason being is because now the only negativity that adds to what's going on is the negativity that you're bringing in. And then you can't blame anyone else for it because you've already been told that this is the reason why we're doing these exercises. And I got a whole variety of exercises that we're going to do. Nothing that's going to make you, stretch you out of what your norm is. But we are going to break some barriers within ourselves. I'm going to break them too because I'm doing the exercises with you. It's not exercises that I'm just figuring out for somebody else, but these are actual exercises that I am going to be doing with you. And we're going to learn from each other. We're going to learn from ourselves. I do different exercises. Some are going to be drawing, some going to be artwork, some's going to be listening to poems, some's going to be listening to music, videos. It's going to be a lot of different things that I'm going to add to what we're going to do. But it is up to you to first acknowledge that this can work for you if you put forth the effort, and then you have to be consistent on it. You will have homework, but I'm not checking your homework, but the homework's going to show if you haven't done it, it's not going to manifest in your life. Manifestation. What is that? Somebody put a manifestation. You have to know what you want. And a lot of times we don't know. Do I know everything I want? No, but I know there are certain things that I want. And so how do I achieve those things? How do I move from point A to point B? I tell people all the time that physics states that in order for you to walk, your head has to move forward. The balance of your body, the head moves first and then the foot, right? If you notice when you walk, it's always this motion. Your head has to move and then the leg. Even running, the head goes even lower, right? Yvette, good morning to you. If the head moves first, that tells you that two things have to happen. First, it has to register that you have to move, and then you have to move. We'll say that again. Physics said your head moves first before your body moves. So what has to happen is it has to manifest in your mind that you need to move forward, and then you move forward. Happens in a split second. Boom. You haven't even witnessed. I realized it. Sound doctor, what's good? Haven't even realized it. In your head, you make a decision, then you do it. Make the decision that you want to be a part of this class because you want to move past whatever your challenges are in life. You don't have problems. Stop saying you have problems. You have challenges. That's it. In that, you take away most of the powers in that thing that's preventing you from moving forward, because that's not preventing you. You're preventing you. You are allowing whatever that roadblock is, whatever that fixation is in your road, you are allowing that to stop you. Think about it. Think about it. You don't get up and say, I'm not going to work because I don't feel good. You acknowledge why that you don't feel good, and then you decide you're not going to work. You acknowledge that you're not feeling good, and then you decide you're not going to work based on you're not feeling good. So that means what we need to do. Coffee Time Show Check, ready. Okay, cool. That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. So that means what we need to do is take the power from whatever is making us make that decision. We have to strip it of its power. How do you strip it of its power? You do several things, several exercises that you do to do that. And somebody here, tell me, how do you strip power from something that you feel you have no power over? How do you do it? Exercise is to keep you in a good health. Both my parents passed of health conditions, premature. I'm so sorry to hear that. And we have to exercise is something that we need to, and not just physical exercise, spiritual exercising, mental exercising. Your body is a complete unit. It's a complete entity, mind, body, and soul, or spirit, however you want to say that. You have to exercise all those things. And in a day, in our 24-hour span, we don't spend time doing that. Tuesday night is going to be that time for that. Tuesday nights are going to be that time for that. Tuesday nights is going to allow you to say to yourself, listen, I can get past these things by first acknowledging them and then acknowledging my power over these things, over these obstacles, over these challenges. We have barely pierced the surface of our power, because we constantly allow everything else to tell us why we can and cannot. I'll give you an example. Let's look at this. I didn't decide I'm going to talk up this thing and then I'm going to start this class. I didn't decide that. As you know, my Coffee Time morning shows, I wing them. I bring them on as we go. Sometimes there's some things that I want to talk about. Sometimes there isn't. I grab my coffee. I get my coffee roller. I'm using my French coffee press right now, and so it's sitting right here. And I just go wherever the Spirit takes me. Kendra, good morning to you. I just go wherever Spirit takes me. And sometimes it leads me to places that I have no idea. Yesterday, I had no idea. If you hadn't watched, if you wasn't here yesterday, for yesterday's Coffee Time with Coach Jah, I had Lovely on yesterday. Please go to on YouTube and look at yesterday's Coffee Time. Because what happened was we went into self-love and went into so much healing between she and I, talking about things that we've gone through that we didn't realize how many others were already feeling that same type of vibe from us, right? Feeling that same energy. And then listening to comments, listening to other things, listening to people say things and type things in here, and then listening to that's my spirit, right? That voice inside of me. And I said, no, this didn't happen coincidentally. This happened because I had a mission. That mission was to get up and deliver a message, to deliver the next message. And the next message was, listen, I'm going to help us. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm going to help us take all of the power from those challenges that we have in our life that prevent us from doing the things that we wish to do. Most of the time, I exercise every day for my left knee in surgery and done. And then get up and I have my breakfast. That's also that. And we need to exercise every day. We do. I know I definitely do. I miss going to the gym. I used to go to the gym at least 3 times a week, and we play full court basketball for about 3 hours, 3.5 hours, 3.5 hours, sometimes 4. Sometimes I used to go in the morning at 10, and I didn't leave the gym till 7 at night. We play ball from about 10:30 to about 2. Then go downstairs, shower up, eat lunch, and then we'll go back upstairs and play again. I did that in my 30s and my early 40s, I believe. I did that. One of the great things that I loved about playing basketball, even with my injury, yes, even with my head injury, I was still able to do some of those things. It is it's different now. I mean, I can still shoot. That ain't gonna change. I can still shoot. That jump shot ain't going nowhere, but I can still shoot. But I used to exercise that, and when doing so, when I exercise regularly, a lot of things in my life were easier to manage. Stress levels and things that complicated me and stuff like that definitely was easier to deal with when I'm able to take a deep breath and say, you know what, hey, I can tackle this. And so the class is going to be basically that. I'm going to give us exercises that allow us to acknowledge what our challenges are. And we're not going to tackle every challenge every day. I'm not going to tell you which challenges to tackle and exercise. I'm not going to do that. You're going to pick whatever challenge it is. And it's going to be, yes, I'm sure it'll be difficult for some people. There's some challenges that are so overwhelming that people don't know how they are going to be able to deal with it. And I get it. I get it. But at the end of the day, here's what we need to remember. You don't get over anything that you don't tackle head on. You don't get over challenges backwards. You don't get over challenges sitting down. You have to do something. You have to make up in your mind that you have something to do because it's more important to you to get past this thing. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter what it is. Even if it's a small feat, right? Let's just say you have debt. Let's say you have debt. And it's an overwhelming amount of debt. Do you know that you can take every day you check your bank account and whatever change is left over, every 50 cents, 70 cents, 80 cents, 90 cents, whatever change is left over, if you pay that towards your debt still goes down. It still goes down. What I'm saying is, and think about it, you're doing that every day. So the debt is going. What I'm saying is, you just have to do something. There's a favorite phrase that I love to use. It takes a little bit of change to make change. Somebody type that in. It takes a little bit of change to make change. Just a little bit. You just got to sprinkle it in, and it's changed already. It's no longer the same thing because you just sprinkled it. Think about it. When people make cakes and desserts, right? And they got everything there. They garnish it, right? Boom, they just sprinkle little stuff on it. You remember the guy that had this arm like this in all the videos? Just garnish it, and it's changed. Just by you changing it, you made it a new thing. And guess what? You just showed it that you have power to change that. You just showed whatever that thing is that you have the power to change it. Jeez, isn't that amazing? I told you you were amazing. There's your proof. The amazing thing about you, each and every one of you here, listen to what I'm saying. Each and every one of you that is on this live right now. The amazing thing about you that I want you to celebrate today is that you have the power to change your life. Every one of you. You should type that in. I have power to change my life. Because you do. You have the power to change your life. It starts with changing the mindset. It starts with changing how you think about what's going on in your life. How do you change the things that are going on in your life? What does that mean? What does that look like? And you change it by just deciding, number one, I acknowledge this obstacle, this challenge. I acknowledge it. Now, I also acknowledge that I have the power to shift it in a direction that is working on a positive note for me, right? I acknowledge it. I acknowledge it. I stumped my toe. It hurts. I'm acknowledging that my toe hurt because I stumped it on the chair, whatever. Now I acknowledge that I can still do something even with this pain. I can take the chance to bandage it up, ice it down, do whatever I need to do with it. But regardless of what I decide to do, I don't have to stop my forward motion. I can still move. The longest journey begins with a step. Yes, sir. The longest journey, it begins with taking a step. And that's what I want to present in this class. I'm hoping that y'all going to take advantage of it. I'm going to go as long as I can with it. But you will develop some things. And I'm hoping that you develop these things and teach it to your children, teach it to your friends. Use it. Exercise it. Because what I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, right? The thing is that you, what happens is when I end the show, I always tell everybody, find a way to love yourself more today, right? Show yourself some love today. And when you begin to love yourself, people see you differently. They respond to you differently. Well, it's the same thing. And Kendra always says, somebody talk to your neighbor. It's the same thing. When you begin to move things in your life, when you decide that, okay, I'm buying this house, I'm going to save money so I can get my credit together so I can get this house. You decided to do a thing. You changed the energy, and now you're moving in a direction for the betterment of yourself. But that's with every challenge in your life. Every challenge in your life. You know, Kendra says, I sound like a Baptist preacher. We gave it to type it, right? I say that all the time at my events. And Kendra, you've been to some of my drive-through events. You heard me say, somebody look at your neighbor and say so and so and so. I do that all the time. And part of that is knowing that there is a beautiful thing in reciting what you're going to do, what your attempt is, right? There's a beautiful thing in reciting it and saying it. So as you all know, I was born and raised in the nation of Islam. I was born Muslim. And the Quran means to recite. A lot of people don't know that. The Holy Quran means to recite. And it's because the Prophet Muhammad never wrote anything down. His miracle was that he was giving the Quran and he recited his whole mission was to recite the Quran. He recited the whole Quran and they wrote it down. And so with the Quran, the Arabic text never changes in every Quran. However, the translation is what changes. So besides the pocket Qurans, because they're so small, you can't do it. Any Quran that you buy, it has the, well, not anyone, but most of them, they have the Arabic writing and then the English translation. And so it never changed. This is what was said. This is what it is. This is why Islam has been the fastest growing religion ever. But getting from that, what I'm saying is when you recite it, it becomes power. The name Jah, and some people say Jah is God, Jah is Jehovah, Jah. But there's a power in that vibration. Every time you say Jah, there's a power that you're releasing. There's energy that you're releasing every time you say it. And so you have to learn to recite, 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 recite. The energy, it changes. There's so much in that. And I want you to start saying, I've got the power. Y'all know the song, I got the power. Say it. I got the power. I have the power. Because you do. You literally have the power. I love AJ Ward. Y'all know AJ. AJ talks about Harriet Tubman almost every day. And I piggyback that because I love to say that that woman traveled 800 miles on her feet to take people to freedom. 800 miles by feet, by foot, however you want to say it, to take people to freedom. But she had to decide to do that in her mind, right? So when you say things, you decide it in your mind. Now say it. She's probably said, I'm going to get these people free one day. And he said, we're going to walk to freedom one day. She said that. She has said that. You know what I'm saying? Carla, I might do a 5-minute workout. I don't know. I'm going to try to. But she had to say it at some point in her mind. And then she did it. Your issue has been this. You've not said the opposite of the negative. We've always said, I got to go to the store, but I don't feel like it. It's so cold, I don't want to go. I'm going to wait till tomorrow. I'm so tired. My back's hurting. We've gave so much to the negative that we didn't even see the journey, right? We're going to take the negative. We're going to rename the negative. We're going to dismantle the negative to make the journey that much easier, because it's all about acknowledging what the challenges are and then dismantling them. Go ahead, Mike. I am the power. I like that one even better. I am the power. Words spoken are no longer ours after their release. Absolutely. They now belong to the atmosphere. A true sign of selfishness is in the words we choose to share in the atmosphere. You better talk, brother. We have to say, I have power over my body. I have power over my mental state, over my mental health. You do. You do. And it begins with you telling yourself that. Sometimes you just need to hear it. That's why I say somebody type it in the feed. Somebody tell your neighbor. See, I would say tell your neighbor, but I can't hear you say that. So I need to believe it. So I tell you to type it in. And sound is the voice of God. Music vibration is his voice interpreted. Absolutely. 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 So that's what we're here for. I am so excited. Listen, I've done workshops. A lot of you know, some of you have been in my workshops. A lot of you have been in my workshops. I've done writing workshops. But what I want to do within this writing group, right? Because I don't mind what you write from what I'm giving you. But I'm going to write, I want you to write what I'm telling you to write. Check out the philosophy and opinion of Marcus Garvey. Absolutely. He was talking about love. Yes, Marcus Garvey. Absolutely. Writing workshops is for the betterment of writing. And even though there's therapy in that, even though there's healing within that type of writing, the difference in what we're going to be writing here is that we're going to be truthful to ourselves, because we're not sharing with anyone. We're going to go through a period. We're not sharing with anyone. No one knows what we're writing about ourselves. This is only your business. So you have to be, and it's up to you. It's up to you. You have to be as blunt with yourself, as honest with yourself, and as raw with yourself as possible. And the reason you get to do that is because you already know everything about you. You know things about you no one else knows. And so now how do we move past it? I don't care what your challenges. I don't care which ones you start with. We're going to list your top challenges and we're going to work. And what I cannot wait for, what I cannot wait for, I cannot wait for people, for you all, for my friends, the family, right? I can't wait for you to tell me how much better you sleep at night, how much energy you have the next day, how much you've learned to love your journey. Somebody did not make it through your journey, a similar journey to yours. Of course, there were journeys bigger than yours, of course, right? But there's some people who did not make it through that journey. Some people did not make it. And some people live their entire lives and have never said, I have the power to change my life. That is a harsh thing to swallow. It's a hard pill to swallow. You've never said it because you never believed it. I'm not going to change your mindset. I'm going to help you reach that point. That's it. I'm not going to dictate what you write on the paper. I'm going to give you a roadmap to your success as far as self-love. And in that, I'm going to create a new self-love for myself as well. And I want you, I'm advising you all to please come on board. And if it's good to you, right? If it's something that's helping you, tell people about it, share it. I'll do more than one a week, but one a week for now, and then we'll see. But the idea is simple. I am sick and tired of seeing our people struggling because we have not acknowledged our self-worth. I've victimized myself with it. I've been a victim of not living up to my self-worth. And it's a lot, it's a process when you've been through beat up relationships, when you've been with people who, and I'm not banging on people, right? I'm not knocking people because they're having their own struggles and their own journeys. It's not about them. Somebody type in the feed, it's not about them. It's about me. It's not about them. Oh no, this has to be all caps. I can't do this tonight. It's not about, I gotta do this soon. About them. It's about me. Listen, it's not about them. It is not about them. None of this writing has to do with them. However, your reflection, what they see, will change them. I'm gonna sip some coffee. I want that to listen. What they see, right? What they see is going to do two things. It's going to make them acknowledge that something is happening in your life. It's going to make them acknowledge that something different is happening in your life. They're going to see the smiles. They're going to see the happy. When you look in the mirror, I'm telling you, I feel like I'm preaching now. When you look in the mirror, after you begin to acknowledge the things that you let take power and presence over your life, when you look in the mirror after you acknowledge those things and you've taken the power from them, when you look in the mirror, the person you see is not going to be the person you saw yesterday. It's not going to be the person that they saw years and years ago. You will no longer allow yourself to be enslaved to what your issues are. You're going to change your issues on your own. And so when they look in this mirror and they see what they've been struggling with, when you look in the mirror and you see what you've been struggling with, what's been holding you back, you can realize, damn it, I've been holding me back all this time. It's been me. It's been me. It's been the way that I address my challenges in my life. It's the way I address what has happened in my life. It's the way that I address how I move forward. If you say to yourself, this is all I'm ever going to be. I've said it before, we all niggas, this is all we're going to be. I've said it. I ain't no damn nigga. You understand what I'm saying? And then when you start to say it, it manifests. You're not lazy. You're not tired. Yes, you have pain. Yes, you might be a little weak today, but you're not beaten. There are people, listen to this. There's a poem that I want to write about, and I might pose this challenge. I want to write a poem about people who have gone through chemo. If this is the trigger for you, please forgive me, but I want you to listen to this. I want to write about people who have gone through chemo and they get to ring that bell at the end. I want to write about that. That's a person who decided not to give up. Mm. Muhammad Ali said that too. Wow, Miss Betty. That's awesome. That's awesome. But think about that, right? Somebody who went through chemo decided, no, I'm going to fight. Chemotherapy is when they put poison into your body to kill off the cancer cells. They poison your system. The third day is the worst day because the poison had already really got into your system. How I know I've had to sit with people who've gone through chemotherapy, and I've lost some folks as well. But we're not going to dwell on that today. It's not about them today. We're talking about ourselves today. When we start to acknowledge that we've been fighting this whole time, that we didn't give up, right? Whatever your challenges was, you didn't give up. You still here. You're here right now says that you haven't given up. You haven't given up. You have not given up. You have not given up. Miss Betty, you rung the bell. Miss Betty, I'm writing that poem. I am absolutely writing that poem. Yep. I love it. I am writing that poem. Today I looked in my mirror and I said to myself, why am I so sad? Because people make me stressed out. Yvette, let me tell you something. I want you to go back to that mirror today when you get a moment. Go back to that mirror. I want you to say, I love you. And then when you hear that silence and it's nothing else, I want you to say it again. I want you to say it until your spirit is screaming, I love you out loud. And I want you to take your arms and wrap it around yourself and give yourself a big hug. Close your eyes and say, I love you. And I want you to practice that regularly, especially when things are beyond your control and you feel like, I can't take it. I want you to hug yourself. As a matter of fact, somebody put in hug yourself today. Say, I love me today. I want you to hug yourself today, everybody in here, and say, I love me today. Mm. It starts right then and there. It starts right then and there. Yvette, don't make me cry on this screen. Don't make me cry. I want you to know that if you didn't love you, the little things you do for yourself, you wouldn't do. If you didn't love you, the little things that you do for yourself, you wouldn't do. I know stress. A lot of you know my story, some of you don't. I have a 38 special bullet that traveled from here across my face and landed here, still here, since I was 19. Next year, that will be 30 years. I've been living with that. I'm not trying to equal my journey to anyone's journey. I'm just trying to tell you that I didn't give up. I'm trying to tell you that with the vision issues that I have, I didn't give up. With the heavy nerve damage that I have, I didn't give up. With the pain that I have every day, didn't give up. So I'm saying is if people are stressing you out, you can remove that stress and you could at least minimize it. Put it in a bottle. Put it in a bottle. And every time it comes, it opens up, put the cap on a little tighter. Think of it that way. Put the cap on it a little tighter and keep it in that bottle. Because then you can take the bottle and be like, yeah, I see what's going on with you. I see it. Oh, you got some more? Hold on. And put it in the bottle. Put it in the bottle. I remember somebody told me when you're having stress, closet dreams. Good morning, love. When you're having stress and issues and troubles, we don't have a lot of loose change anymore. But they said when you're having some problems and something's bothering you, take some change and put it in the jar. Take some change that you found in the bottom of your purse or you got in your pocket, put it in the jar. Go into your Cash App or or your bank account, and the loose change that's in there, 50 cents, 75 cents, whatever that change is left over, not the dollar sign, right? Just the change. Whenever you have stress, take the change and move it to a savings account. I told you a little bit of change makes change. If stress is, you know what? Take that change and move it. Because guess what? That change adds up. When that change adds up, you can do something for you with that change. That change doesn't have to be a bill paid. That change could be paying towards a vacation, paying towards getting nails, a hair done, a haircut for the fellas, right? That's what that change is. I am so excited about this. I'm getting the flyer is almost done. It's almost done, and I'm going to share it today. I'm encouraging you all to be ready. I am encouraging you all to be ready and be prepared, because we are going to change lives, and we're going to change our lives. I want you to change your life by looking at things differently. Yes, bunch of change. Make a specific change bottle for when you're stressed out. Because now you know that you have at least an immediate answer to balance that stress. Okay, this heifer bothering me. Let me put this in here because I'm going to take me a vacation. Put that change in there. Take your change. Listen, go in your checking account. When you stress, go in your checking account. You got 50 cents, like it might be I'm speaking into your life right now. Your checking account may say $1,500.75. Take that 75 cents and move it to another account, a savings account. It may say $3,500.22. Take that 22 cents whenever stress is bothering you. Put that 22 cents in a savings account. Leave it there. Leave it there. And let that, because you're going to remember. And then you're going to be like, you're looking forward to stress as if to say, it doesn't matter. I can handle it. Bring that shit on. And you can take here it is, stress. I got 15 cents for you today. And put that 15 cents in account. What that does is allow you to say, hey, you can do what you want to do, but I'm going to do what I have to do. Somebody put that in it. You can do what you want to do, but I'm going to do what I have to do. Listen, it's simple, people. It's simple, family. We just have to find the words. We have to find those things we need to help us move past whatever's in that moment. You got it. You got it. I say this every time I end my show. You have everything you need to get past this moment. Everything. If you didn't, you wouldn't have made it. I'm going to say that again. If you didn't have everything you need in this moment, you would not have made it. I don't care if you couldn't pay every bill in your house right now. You don't know where the money's coming from. Do you know how many muscle it takes for your face to frown, as opposed to allowing yourself to smile? If you got time, somebody Google how many muscles does it take for your face to frown and put that in the feed. Right. You do what you have to. It does not matter. It does not matter. Listen, I promise you all this. And those who really know me, like Lovely, she's been in my life. I don't prepare for shows. I prepare for shows by getting up and going. I don't prepare for shows. I don't prepare for workshops. I go with what moves me when I'm ready to work in that space. This is not a me thing. Yesterday started a whole new thing. This show had turned into a whole new thing because of yesterday. And yes, I do believe that things happen in their own time. And this was already manifested. This isn't even of me. This was written before. Here it is. You all are lucky to be here, to have it. You know what I'm saying? And you need to take the blessing and do something with it. This class, I'm going to offer it. If you're not following me on Instagram, you need to be. Facebook, or however you need to do it, you need to be in there. I'm not going to put the class open for. I'm not going to post them on YouTube and stuff like that now. The class is generally focused on what we can do today, and it's called Right to Heal. You have the right to heal, and we are going to right to heal. That's the plan. That is the plan. Live in your light. You are created to be magnificent. Stand above stress. Lovely. That's it. That is it. We have to acknowledge that it matters what happens in your life, but it doesn't tell you or dictate. Listen, y'all got me preaching. I want you to understand this. IG, listen up. What you go through builds you. You choose to let it destroy you. I'm going to say that again. What you go through builds you, but you choose to let it destroy you. It don't destroy you. If it destroys you, then your life is over. It's ended. But if your life has not ended, it didn't destroy you. It's building you. It's putting you in a position to fight in a different battle because you did not realize the battle that was before you. That's it. And we have to turn ourselves into believing and understanding that. Yeah. If you do not, you will continuously be stuck in whatever ills manifest in your life. Whatever it is. I don't care. Listen, I don't care what your challenges are. Understand what I'm saying? Whatever your challenge is, you can still fight that challenge. Tell me I'm lying. You can still fight that challenge. Whatever that challenge is. I don't care how far it's taken you. I don't care how much of a setback it was. What to say? A setback is just your new setup. However far it had taken you, however far it had set you back, it is preparing you for the next triumphant of celebration that's coming. Because there's a celebration after that you have not. Listen, there's a celebration coming that you didn't know about. There's a celebration coming that you didn't know about. There's a celebration coming that you did not know about. And we'll get it. We will get it together. And you're going to show this world how to celebrate themselves, how to celebrate what they've gone through, how to celebrate what their life will become. And you do that by being of reflection, of saying, hey, listen, I've been through this before. And here's where I am. You ever meet somebody that just got this glow? They just have a glow. Oh my gosh. Listen, I promise you this. In this moment right now, you have everything you need to be amazing. In this moment right now, you have everything you need to be amazing. You are created perfectly in your imperfectness. Perfectly in your imperfectness. Meaning that there is they can make a duplicate, but it's not the origin. You have everything you need to be amazing. And I want you to go out and start to be amazing today. Begin in this moment right now. I want you to hug yourself today, love yourself today, look in that mirror, whisper to yourself, write love notes to yourself. Write a story to yourself. Just write on paper, I love you, and fold it up and put it in your wallet, put it in your purse, put it in your bra, hold on to it, keep it close to you. I love y'all. I challenge you to be great today. Be amazing today. Do what you need to do to make it through this day. I got your back and I love you. Y'all keep being up in peace. We got 20 seconds left. It is an amazing day. You are amazing. I love you and I want you to fall in love with yourself today. Start today. Start it in this moment. I love y'all and I'll see y'all later. Peace. IG.